Yo, what's up guys, Double Key here, and I haven't been outside in a while, so I figured I'd go outside and start preaching to you guys. Start preaching and telling you guys about my life. So yeah, it's been a good minute or two, and I got like really depressed. I stopped streaming League of Bass, I stopped playing it. I started playing League of Legends. Instead. I started playing solo queue. Trying to get pretty decent at that, but yeah, I stopped playing League of Bass because I just had to take a little break. But it's like my hand problems. It's like destroying me. Like, you know, I made good efforts to like work out, do like a lot of like wrist, arm, forearm strengthening exercises, grip strengthening exercises, and honestly, I do think they actually helped a lot. But the problem is it wasn't targeting my thumbs, you know, and a lot of like the problems I'm feeling in my thumbs, and so. That was still issues. Like I do a run, and then afterwards my hands hurt like real badly. I mean, I did like what, almost 150 runs in a month and a half. I mean, that's a lot of runs, and you know, I was practicing doing that, and I was playing before that almost every day, and it's a lot, and like I don't even know if that was a lot or not. Like honestly, I really have no idea, but yeah, I guess it broke me. I guess it broke me a little bit. So I got really depressed like 3 days ago. Like I stopped streaming League of Bass. I'm just like, fuck, I don't have nothing. I want to stream. I like streaming. I want to stream, but I fall apart. I'm like, their big problem I run into is every time I stream, I get like really angry. I League of Bass, it's just too hard to focus on the game and then focus on the chat and like have fun. It's just not happening. So I'm like, well, shit. Well, what do I do? What do I do now? So I was just falling apart. I'm like, fuck. Well, so then I just said, okay, I'll take a break. And actually, guys, I take a break randomly. Literally, I was doing it runs every day, like low percent runs, and oh my god, I learned a lot, guys. I actually learned a lot about low percent. So I was doing these low percent runs. When you have a camera, everybody stops for you. Every car stops for you. Look at these cars. They always stop for you. They don't. If you don't have a camera, they just go right by you. I don't know why. But anyway, so. I was doing these low percent runs, and then randomly I didn't do a day of runs because my hands are kind of hurting. And guys, my actual performances have suffered so much in the past few months, few weeks. I can't get a good run. Literally, I cannot get a good segment, a good run, because I actually do think I'm improving. I actually do think a lot of my ideas are good, and I do think I'm improving, but my performances are going so downhill because of my hands. And like my mental exhaustion. You do 30 runs in a row, they lose meaning. You know, if you reset, the runs at least maintain meaning. Right? The few good ones have meaning, right? I think that's the problem. I think that's actually a limiting factor. That's why I'm doing these reset runs. But the problem, you know, in the short term, these runs lose their meaning. So you do 30 in a row, not only your hands get so exhausted mentally and physically. So my quality of the runs was like so bad. I mean, I don't really care, but it was a little disheartening. But I just randomly took a break one day, and then the next day after that, I'm like, you know what? My hands just felt like hell. Like what? I can't do it. I can't play the game like this. So I basically did 0 runs up until the low percent race on the 30th. There's like planned a race on the 30th. That's why I was doing low percent. So I basically. I did no runs. I did one run for like a 1 week period. I did one run the day before the low percent race. It was like a random race, and of course the League of Bass community was taunting me, but it was just a random race. The League of Bass community, they race dodge me. These people intentionally don't race on SOL so that I can't join the races because they know I want to race. They know I like racing, so they will intentionally do offline races so that I can't race them. And they almost did that at least, but whatever. But so then there's this big race the next day. So I did those two. Those were the only 2 runs I did the last week. And then I actually tried doing a 3rd run, but I reset. I accidentally got the mushroom. So it's not low percent anymore if you get the mushroom. The mushroom doesn't really do anything besides change the menus, but it's not low percent anymore. And I just said, fuck it. So I reset. I was like, I can't. And I was like, and after I reset, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not supposed to reset. You know, because I don't reset. I stopped resetting. That's the only time I've reset, legitimate reset. I technically reset 3 times actually, past month and a half. But yeah, reset, and I'm like, shit, man. Well, what happened there? But I don't know, maybe I'm okay on that because I think like if the intention matters more than the actual action. And honestly, it's good that I reset because I cannot play the game right now. So it's actually kind of a good thing that I reset. But yeah, I definitely reset that one, and I reset another 2 times. One of them was in a low percent race before the big one. I accidentally got the boomerang, which it's not low percent, and it actually does change the game. So I had to reset on that, especially in a race. So I reset. So I think that's actually like fair. And then I reset a 3rd time because I didn't set the timer. So those are the only 3 times I've actually reset in the past month and a half, which that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah. So I stopped playing because of my hands and I just like kind of disheartened. And I got like really depressed like 2 days ago. I started playing League. And honestly, I'm doing really good. League's going all right. Like it's not played perfectly. When I was playing it 2 years ago, I was way more motivated than I am right now, and I was doing a lot better. There's a free bar on the ground. I guess you can see that. I don't think you can. There's not much lighting, but it's a free block of wood if you guys are interested. But yeah, so I started playing League 2 years ago when I was playing League. I got diamond in 3 weeks. I was highly motivated. I was so motivated. I'm not really motivated right now. I'm just kind of playing on and off, just playing for fun. And actually, that goes into the real problem I'm gonna get into, because that goes into the real problem, which is the real thing that's affecting me. But I'm not so motivated. But honestly, I'm improving probably about the same rate. So hey, that's cool. And I probably get an okay time. I'll probably get an okay rank in League. I think I'll be able to get diamond pretty easily. I wanted to get masters and challenger, but mechanically I'm just not good enough at all. And it takes several months minimum to just generate mechanical skill. I think in terms of like macro game and like game understanding, it's fine. Like the game's not too hard. That's what I excel at. It's just mechanical ability, and like that takes it can take 2 years to learn that. But I don't know. You never know. Cause some people do learn that shit in like 3 months. Because it's really not that hard. League and like a lot of, and I was watching like Faker, and I was watching a lot of top League players, and a lot of it is like. It's not like, oh my god, I'm the best player in the world, I'm playing at peak performance all the time. No, that's not really how it works. So, and the more I play League Pass, the more I understand that. So I think actually I might be okay, but you never know. The biggest problem in League, and I see this a lot, is just playing the game. Nobody gets good at League because no one plays it. So really just playing the game is like the biggest, most important thing. But enough about that. I started reading Yu Yu Hakusho too. Like 3 days ago, I think, which that show is pretty interesting. Yu Yu Hakusho, it's all right. Like it's not too bad, and it's not. I'm not gonna like lie. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's really old, and it seems like Togashi, the guy who wrote it, is definitely like a it's like a beta test of Hunter x Hunter for sure. Like I don't know if you guys read Bleach, but if you read Zombie Powder before Kubo wrote Bleach. Yeah, Zombie Powder is like a similar deal where it was like, obviously this is like he's just putting his ideas on paper, and then he's like, okay, I have better ideas. Let's go with these better ideas. But I will say Yu Yu Hakusho is considerably better than Zombie Powder, because Zombie Powder, like I actually liked reading it, but I mean it wasn't very good. But Yu Yu Hakusho, I think it's not bad. It's interesting, but yeah, it's not too long. Like. Although I will say this actually manga is like way more legendary than I realized. Way more legendary. Like this is, I don't know, I can't say, you can't say this is like the predecessor of all the tournament arcs, but I mean, how many manga have a big tournament arc, right? That's like pretty much everyone in the world. Or at least shonen manga. This manga like marks, it like defines the tournament arc, which that's crazy, and you see so many of these like weird tropes, these tournament tropes, in this manga that are like reused and recycled. And actually it's interesting because I read Hunter x Hunter last year. Now I'm reading Yu Yu Hakusho. You see a lot of the characters and character designs and the ability, the fighting spirits, fighting types, character archetypes, personalities. You see them reused, which I think is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's real fun. Honestly, guys, it helped me learn about the power of myself And see, this is something that go on like 6 months ago, at the beginning of this year. You can't base your gameplay on something that doesn't make good, concrete, logical sense. Like, it just doesn't work. But I really do think that I'm holding myself back. I'm limiting myself in game, and maybe I'm not limiting myself. The point isn't to remove the limiter. The point is to understand my true strength, and then I'll do better. So I really do believe that, even though it sounds kind of silly and it doesn't really make any sense, but I do believe it. But if that's true, like, what can we do with that? Like, can we even do anything with that? And honestly, guys, I can't really tell you. So what I wanted to do was apply this idea of natural gameplay to a macro sphere. And the one big takeaway, because I've come up with like a ton of ideas in the past 2 months, month and a half. I've come up with a ton of ideas, like 20 ideas, and a lot of I always come up with these ideas, and actually part of the solution of natural gameplay is that it helps eliminate all these like crazy ideas I come up with, because a lot of them are natural and I'll just forget about them, and so instead of like trying to hold on to them, I just let it go, which is natural gameplay. But so I've come up with all these ideas, and the one thing that really stuck in the past 2 months is this idea of anxiety. When you are under pressure, you're under something called anxiety, and it affects your decision-making process. And I don't think it necessarily hurts it, but what happens is you can't focus as well, and so you get a variable output, you get a variable outcome, and that's something that like definitely resonated and stuck with me more than almost anything else I've come up with in the past 2 months. And I mean, I've come up with a lot of ideas, like, look at the inputs, look at gameplay. I've come up with a bunch of ideas. Here's exactly the thing. It's like, don't quite remember this idea. This idea is great, but I have to apply it to my gameplay. Or I don't think you should have to apply something. I think if an idea really works, it should naturally happen. I think it should just happen. If it makes enough sense, you should have to apply it. Because it makes so much sense, you have to apply it. So the anxiety thing is like really, really settled with me. But there's a little bit more to it. Like, when you do something, you create a process. That's something that's also really stuck with me, but it's kind of harder. It's a little more abstract to think about, because how can you create the right processes is the real question, and that is something that really needs to be explored. And I don't know what the answer here is with terms of anxiety, in terms of creating the right processes. Not really sure the right answer is here, but if you think about how creating processes works with gameplay and how anxiety affects your gameplay, it's pretty easy. It's actually really easy to